Hello students. Today we are going to discuss about money and credit. Before the invention of money, people conduct exchange without the use of money. This system is called barter.
In a barter system, goods are directly exchanged without the use of money. These are the problems related to the barter system. The first major problem is absence of double coincidence of ones, and it is a complex and time-consuming process. There is no medium of exchange, lack of measure of value, and no store of value. Money as a medium of exchange. Before the introduction of coins, a variety of objects was used as money. For example, since the early ages, Indians used grains and cattle as money. Thereafter came the use of metallic coins, gold, silver, copper coins, a base which continued well into the last century. What is money? Money may be anything chosen by common consent as a medium of exchange. What are the four functions of money? Money as a medium of exchange, standard of value, store of value, and standard of deferred or future payments.
What do you mean by modern forms of money? Before the introduction of coins, a variety of objects were used as money.
Modern forms of money include currency, paper notes, and coins. Then deposit with the banks. Banks accept the deposit and also pay an interest rate on the deposits. In this way, people's money is safe with the banks and it earns an interest. People also have the provision to withdraw the money as and when they require. Demand deposits. Demand deposits share the essential features of money. The facility of checks against demand deposits make it possible to directly settle payments without the use of cash. Since demand deposits are accepted widely as a means of payment along with the currency, they constitute money in the modern economy. What is a check? A check is a paper instructing the bank to pay a specific amount from the person's account to the person in whose name the check has been made. A check has all the information about the person to whom the payment is to be made. That is, name of the payee, instruction to transfer the money to payer's account, amount in words, amount in figures, date, signature of the account holder, and account number. What do you mean by credit or loan? Credit or loan refers to an agreement in which the lender supplies the borrower with money, goods, or services in return for the promise of future payment. In your textbook, page number 43, there are two different credit situations explained with the help of two examples. In the first case, or the case of Salim, he obtains credit to meet the working capital needs of production. The credit helps him to meet the ongoing expenses of production, complete production on time, and thereby increase his earnings. Credit, therefore, plays a vital and positive role in his situation. The second case, or the case of Swapna, the failure of the crop made loan repayment impossible. She had to sell part of the land to repay the loan. Credit, instead of helping Swapna improve her earnings, left her worse off. This is an example of what is commonly called debt trap. Credit, in this case, pushes the borrower into a situation from which recovery is very painful.
What do you mean by terms of credit? What is the role of collateral in a credit arrangement?
The terms of credit are interest rate, collateral and documentation requirement, and the mode of repayment together comprise what is called the terms of credit. The terms of credit vary substantially from one credit arrangement to another. They may vary depending on the nature of the lender and the borrower. What is collateral or security? Collateral is an asset that the borrower owns, such as land, building, vehicle, livestock, deposited with the banks, and uses this as a guarantee to a lender until the loan is repaid. If the borrower fails to repay the loan, the lender has the right to sell the asset or collateral to obtain payment. Some examples of collateral are land or property, vehicles, livestock, crops, and bank deposits. In the case of non-repayment, the lender can sell the collateral to recover the loan. In your textbook, page number 46 and 47, a variety of credit arrangements are explained with the help of some examples.
What is the difference between formal and informal sector credit in India?
Formal and informal sector credit. We get formal sector loans from banks and cooperatives. The informal lenders include money lenders, traders, employers, relatives, and friends, etc. The Reserve Bank of India supervises the functioning of formal sources of loans. There is no organization which supervises the credit activities of lenders in the informal sector. Compared to the formal lenders, most of the informal lenders charge much higher interest on loans. Thus, the cost of the borrower of informal loans is much higher. For these reasons, banks and cooperative societies need to lend more. This would lead to higher incomes, and many people could then borrow cheaply for a variety of needs. They could grow crops, do business, set up small-scale industries, etc. They could set up new industries or trade in goods. Cheap and affordable credit is crucial for the country's development. We can easily understand the credit sourced from formal and informal sectors from the given graph. It is clear from the graph the rich households has access to cheaper loans from formal sector, and the poor households depend on expensive loans from informal sector. Cheaper credit is essential for development of a country. Lending from formal sector must increase for development of the nation. With the help of this graph, we can easily understand the poor households largely depend on informal sector of credit.
What are called SHGs? How the SHGs help the poor people in India?
The idea is to organize rural poor, in particular women, into small self-help groups and pool their savings. A typical SHG has 15 to 20 members, usually belonging to one neighborhood, who meet and save regularly. Savings per member varies from Rs 25 to Rs 100 or more, depending on the ability of the people to save. Members can take small loans from the group itself to meet their needs. The group charges interest on these loans, but this is still less than what the moneylender charges. After a year or two, if the group is regular in savings, it becomes eligible for availing loan from the bank. Most of the important decisions regarding the savings and loan activities are taken by the group members. The group decides as regards the loans to be granted, the purpose, amount, interest to be charged, repayment schedule, etc. Also, it is the group which is responsible for the repayment of the loan. Thus, the SHGs help borrowers overcome the problem of lack of collateral.
Who is the founder of Grameen Bank in Bangladesh? what is the importance of Grameen Bank in Bangladesh? How it helps the poor?
Grameen Bank of Bangladesh is one of the biggest success stories in reaching the poor to meet their credit needs at reasonable rates. Professor Muhammad Yunus is the founder of Grameen Bank in Bangladesh. It was founded in 1970. 6 million borrowers in 40,000 villages. Women make the majority of borrowers. Thanks for watching my video.